something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Evening. Welcome, one and all, and happy new year. It is 2025, the very first Toxic Tuesday of 2025, and I think the 158th episode overall. How are you all doing? Happy to see you here. Let's acknowledge some faces here because, well, that's just what we do here. But I am absolutely ready to talk about the greatness that is Training Day. Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke. For me, one of the best movies. Straight up one of the best. But let's acknowledge those faces here. Grim, Davina Duckworth. How's it going, Davina? FKHC 2005. Joe Dog. Darth Viewer. Matthew Marzillo. How's it going, D-Bud? D-Bud. How's it going, D-Bud? My guy, Deleted Scenes. Deleted Scenes will be a guest on here in a few weeks. Once more. I can't wait to have him back on. What's going on? Steve Mitchum. My guy, Steve. So I hung out with Steve a few nights ago on Mark U of the Sea Sunday Night Geekery. Love hanging out with Steve. I think that's the most we ever got to actually hang out on stream. And it was freaking awesome. He's a great dude, great dad, and I'm really proud of the man. Not that he needs that from me, but I'm proud of that man. I am so freaking proud of that man. And my buddy Dustin, who's on the damn panel, what is this crazy stuff? He says, First, he sends me a super chat. Well, he's in the back door. I mean, backstage. I didn't mean to say messing my backwards words up. Anyways, Dustin Keto Simple says, for $5, it's killer to be back. Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to you, sir. You're backstage. There's Pinochet's helicopter tours. I was wondering where you were. I'm like, there's no way Pinochet's helicopter tours is going to miss this one. And yes, on the Rumble side, we have His Excellency Donald Trump and Derp Schmert over there as well. We are a 5 on Rumble. Absolutely badass. And I'm going to post that link right there so you guys can dual stream. And yes, we are still going to do the whole transition, hour 15, hour 20 minutes in. That way we can play some extended clips. So we're still going to do that. It's still going to be great. We can get even more volatile. Be hard to follow up our last episode because Bad Santa was that was a monster of an episode. I think Mark had to like shower after that episode because of how violating it was. What's up, Jonathan Conroy? But yes, we are dual streaming on Rumble. Please hang out both ways, okay? And also, guys, this is 3 weeks of Denzel Washington. So this is part 1 tonight. Next week is going to be Man on Fire. And the week after that, The Equalizer 3. So we get 3 weeks of Denzel. Let's make it supremely badass for one of the best actors ever. I mean, come on. I don't think there's any arguments to be had about him being one of the best actors. Is that right, Mark D with a C?
Oh, that's 100% right. And, usually I don't agree with Joe Biden, but yeah, he got the Medal of Freedom. So he's a lot more deserving than Hillary Clinton for sure. Jesus God. So yeah, and Michael J. Fox too. Yeah,
well,
very cool.
As I said on the Geekery when we were talking about that I can't remember, it was 2012 or 2016. Someone asked him on a carpet. I think it was 2016. They asked him, "So who'd you vote for in the election?" And he just said, "It's none of your business."
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought that was a great response. For who knows? He could have voted for Hillary. He could have voted for was it like Gerry Johnson? I don't know. Maybe he did a write-in. I don't know. But the point is the fact that he just said it's none of your business. It's like, yeah, of course he's going to take that medal. I'm not going to fault him for it. So if he did that on his own time, fine. Don't care.
It's still a great award. Yeah, it's still a great award. But
it's still a great award.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about on the Geekery, and that it was fun having you hang out with you and
great
Steve.
Time, dude. Loved it.
It was a blast. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I mean, not gonna say that. Yeah, they can't give your political opinion, but it's like George Takei and like Mark Hamill. I used to enjoy their feeds, and I love politics too. I mean, I don't think I missed like 5 Rush Limbaugh shows. I'm exaggerating, but I listen to Rush and talk radio, and I've always loved politics. And Bob Grant, if anyone's from the Northeast remembers Bob Grant, a guy who would have been canceled in 2 seconds these days. But I just, for my entertainers, I mean, that's okay once in a while, but like, then just like go into politics and say you're gonna write for like the New York Times, and if every freaking thing is gonna be politics. So yeah, it's but this movie is, I mean, this is a freaking intense movie. The act, we'll get into it, but I'm getting nervous watching it again, and I've watched it a bunch of times. I mean, just that whole position, where it's a training day, that whole setup, and then I won't give away much now, but just that it's just so freaking intense of a movie. And Denzel and Hawk are phenomenal in this. It's just God, what a day, right?
Yeah, right. This is all in one. I love these type of movies where it's one day, but a lot happens in this one day. I love these types of movies.
Now Netflix is going to make this into a 15 episode limited series, and they're going to cover the same amount of material. Like, that's the problem today with the freaking TV shows. It's like, look what you can do in, what was this, 2 hours and 8 minutes, or 2 hours, something like that. It's now we get the age of golden TV, and they don't tell you anything after 6 hours. So this was intense.
Oh yeah. Really quickly before I introduce our other gentleman, Pete O'Shea's Helicopter Tours with a $1 Rumble rant, because we do acknowledge our Rumble rants and quickly on here. We don't treat it like the redhead stepchild. He says for $1, Man on Fire. I hear you, brother. I'm ready to be. I thought about you when I was getting this 3 weeks of Denzel thing. I'm like, Pete O'Shea is going to be very happy with this. So I kept you in mind. I kept my promises. So it took a bit, but we got there, my dude. We got there. Hi, Dustin. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, Nick and Mark D with that big old C.
Yeah, it's a big C here. Yeah. You got to cut back on the chocolate. The C is for eating too much chocolate over Christmas. Is chocolate keto simple or no? I guess not, right? Too much sugar or what?
Well, chocolate. I mean, chocolate's good. You can, you start with 100% cacao, you're all right. But then there's artificial sweeteners and all that shit. It's fine.
Junk in it,
yeah. Whoo! Trying to get back to normal.
But
winter break was finally over today. The girl went back to school today.
Yeah.
After 15 days. I'm tired. I need a break.
I need a vacation.
Oh man, we just got a lot of snow, and it's just been a lot of extra work. And
I've been we got ice on. We didn't get a lot of snow, but we've gotten a lot of ice so far. We're getting the ice, and I much rather have the snow, because worst comes worst, snow is just slippery. Ice can be damn painful. That's my concern with the ice, is the pain that it could come with. So, yeah, trade for a trade.
I'm excited about this movie, though. This movie is so well done. It's just a fucking awesome movie all the way around.
Oh, 111%, my dude. 111. Hi, Red Shirt.
Happy New Year, Nick Weiser.
Hey.
And
Happy New Year, sir.
Mark Big D with a little C.
Happy New Year.
And Justin. Hey, the man with the beard.
Oh yeah, I have to change my name.
But yeah,
Mr.
this
Lombardo.
Yeah, this movie is intense and not what you expect from a Denzel Washington movie when you go in.
Oh, yeah. No. I think it was his second ever movie where he was actually a bad guy in it up to this point in his career. So it was not like a thing. And he only took this role because his son insisted that he took it. So it was one of those things for him. But we'll get more into that. But that was definitely an important thing. But Bruce Lombardo has been a member for a year. What's up, Bruce? Happy New Year, sir. I miss you on here. Hopefully one day a reunion, even if it's a one-off. Says this movie is officially a classic. Now it's 20 years old. I think it's actually going to be 24 later this year because it's September of 01 when this came out. I think it's like a week or two after 9/11 it came out. So yeah, it's gonna be it's 23 going on 24. That's crazy. In 2002, I heard Rokon on 890 AM talking about on Alcohol Fueled Friday when it was released on DVD. Such a great movie. Such a damn great movie indeed. My guy Jaffo, long time no see, Jaffo. Good to see you, bud. Let's bring in our other guy here. Oh, FK, I got corrected. All right, October. I was off by a month. That's
what she said.
Ah.
So
and that's
good
how
evening.
Cindy's walked in here.
Good evening, everybody. I would just like to say to Mark, go Stars.
Oh, my Rangers. Oh, what happened to the Rangers this year?
Rangers were 3-0 up in the game tonight against the Stars. The Stars ended up winning 5-4.
It's just been not the Rangers' year. I mean, I got to come on Bourbon and Borden so you can abuse me for 2 hours.
The Stars never led until they won. Until
they won. Yeah.
Until the winning goal. So hard luck, mate. Mate, it was an exciting game. I'll give it that. An exciting game. So good evening.
I know you got all your excitement from your hockey, but I just want to fill the chat in on a quick blank. Well, Toxic Tuesday is away. 70s and I got together for a one-off, and we talked about Lemmy, remembering Lemmy a few weeks ago, which I would say if you didn't catch it, please put on your watch later tab. We talked for an hour and 40-ish, I think.
I think so, yeah.
We had a great conversation on Lemmy. Just you and I.
Fanboyed out for sure. It was great. Yes.
And we'll have to do it again for when it hits the 10-year mark, and maybe we'll actually do a proper panel. But just between the two, you and I, we covered a lot of ground with the two of us.
We did. I've got high hopes that we'll be able to at least do let's say the 40th anniversary of his death. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
please. No. I don't know if I'll make it that far. I'll be partying with Lemmy by that time.
It's good to see you again, 70s.
Good to see you. I miss you, boys. It's a shame Gary isn't here, given the meme that I posted.
Well, I'm going to share that as Mark gets ready to slide it in. I mean, out. In this case, he's sliding it up.
Yeah, well, I've got to cover up. I got to cover up Eva Mendes a few scenes. Unfortunately, not enough, but yeah,
we'll get Rumble. You don't have to cover them up.
Right.
You don't have to cover them up on Rumble?
Oh, I have no idea. Is there nudity?
Like Europe?
Yeah.
So thanks to our buddy Scribelight, who's out there. Scribelight decided to meme us. Scribelight.
No, that was me. No, that was me.
Oh,
I did that. Yes, I did that.
It says special edition from Scribelight.
He just reposted it. It was me. I sent it. Remember, I put it in the DMs as well.
Okay. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, well, 70s made this. Scribe shared it, but Dude,
I think Scribe's tidied it up, actually. Scribe's tidied it up. That's why he's made a slightly better version than the one I made, which was pretty bad. I did low effort. He's tidied it up. Sorry, Scribe.
We appreciate your efforts or your attempt at efforts, sir. But man,
I don't think Gerry needs any training for that, though.
No, he's kind of a natural.
No, but he's training Nick.
Look at the smile.
It's Nick that's being trained.
He wrote the
Exactly.
Gerry wrote the manuals. He's got the spreadsheets. He's got the PDFs. He's got the PowerPoints.
Yeah, he does the zooming as well. He zooms.
Oh, he does. He zooms backdoor like nobody's
Training
business.
gay or gay. That's what I'm posting on Twitch right now. Training gay or gay. Oh, dude.
Right. Let me get
That's a great way to kick it off with a meme. We haven't done those in a while, so that's what's up. 70s. Yeah, that was a good one to.
Scribe did tidy up. He tidied my version up a little. I just do low effort memes.
He tidied you. He
fluffed mine up a bit. Boom.
Oh, boom. Denzel Washington is one of those guys where he can use many repeated phrases and it's still just as powerful every time he repeats it. There's boom, there's my ga. We all know which word we're talking about. It was just a swarm of words. And we'll get demonetized. I think we already are, so it's okay. It's as far as I'm aware, that's fine, guys. It's all good. Just enjoy the show. That's what it's all
have
about.
Fun, yeah,
have fun with it. I've already got a Rumble Rant and Super Chat. That's more than enough. So let's enjoy time. But man, Denzel Washington in the do-rag. Let's start with the do-rag. He rocks the do-rag. That's especially at a time where do-rags were very in that culture. Very in. I remember I was a few years away from going to this trade school called Lincoln Tech. It was for automotive classes. And I'll tell you, man, almost every other dude is wearing do-rag, man. Almost it was do-rags everywhere. Seeing Denzel Washington, I'm like, dude, if I didn't know this was Denzel Washington, I would have thought he was.
Because he wasn't very do-raggy, was he?
No, he's a classy guy. He's a very classy man.
Well, he was dressed like Rafael Perez.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I was just reading on the usual sources on the internet, but he was actually offered the Ethan Hawke part to start with.
I see, and I can't imagine that. I mean,
that might be bullshit. I don't know. That's just what it says on the Wikipedia.
Let's just assume that it could be true. If there was, I can't imagine. You know what? No, I think
too old for that.
He's too old. I think he's a little too old even by this time.
Well, he was in his mid-40s at this movie. However, he was playing a character that was supposed to be in his 30s. And let's not forget, Denzel Washington don't crack.
He looks pretty young. Was he 72 now or something? And
yeah, he's like 69 or 70. I think it's safe to say he could play this type of role even if he was 50 years, just because he still looks the part of looking young. So I can more than let it slide and buy it, because look how energetic he was in this role from beginning to end of this movie. He clearly was having fun. He's made it very clear on multiple interviews, press conferences, yada yada. This was one of his favorite roles to play, if not his favorite role. And I'm glad this movie was one and done. We'll not get into the why it's one and done because of the ending, but it's just a very great, strong story of one day in the life type of situation. And man, when I first saw this coming out, I had seen a bunch of cop movies, buddy cop or even solo cops who are dealing with a tough day, but not what happens when a cop is going out on his first day to work with not just a crooked cop, but the most crooked of the crookedest. This
Mhm.
threw me out for a huge surprise.
I
I
know.
saw this right away. I think I saw this. I
I-
think I saw this in theaters. I was like, "Holy shit, what's going on with this
Yeah,
movie?"
I kept thinking,
Denzel's not crooked.
when's the point happen that Denzel's character turns into the good guy? It never happened.
Well,
Kept
hadn't he
expecting
already
it.
done? He's already been known for being a good guy and stuff. He did Remember the Titans, other
Well,
things.
no,
So
I
he
mean
was
his
known for being.
character. I mean his character in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, in this
I
movie,
kept
okay.
thinking, when's he going to suddenly flip and become the good guy, like he's pretending to be the bad guy?
Oh,
No.
you thought he was pretending? No.
Well, I kept waiting for it. I kept waiting. It's not going to happen. No.
Oh, dude, that's freaking
Well,
hilarious.
plus, there's the great buildup, and it's a short scene where you meet his wife in the beginning,
Mhm.
like sets him
Uh-huh.
up as a young cop, and of course you want to make detective, you make more money, and quote unquote it's more fun or
Well,
more
Ethan Hawke's
adventurous on the
character. Yeah.
yeah Ethan's Hawke character. So they really build up Denzel's character, like he's nervous, he's prepping what he's gonna say, and so they do a great job with the setup. So you're expecting this scene with this badass here, and then right away Denzel like takes charge, and he's like, "I'm trying to read my paper, tell me a story now. I read this for entertainment. 95% of
Mhm.
it's bullshit, but it's entertainment. Now you tell me a story. Come up with something good." And it's just a great boom. You're into these characters, you understand them, and of course you don't know all the surprise. You assume Denzel's, the super cop, basically, like getting Riggs and from Lethal Weapon here, maybe a little crazy, but then
Mhm.
it turns out he's completely rotten, and the whole thing's been planned out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Blows you away at
Oh,
the end,
yeah.
right?
Like he says a word for word that he laid out the groundwork for this, I think days in advance, and you don't think of it as you're watching. You're kind of we're kind of living through Jake, aka Ethan Hawke's character. We're kind of living through him in this movie, even though he's the second top to the bill, second build character. We're living through him in this movie because he's new to the biz. He's the spring chicken. He actually wants to make a difference. He's the whole, okay, I became a cop because I want to take care of all the usual stuff that people want to take care of.
Yeah.
The drugs and the crooks and all that. And he's in LA. And I could tell that there was something up with Denzel's character, but I had no idea it was going to go to this sewage level of madness that he was going to take us.
Committing murder.
Okay. I just thought, okay, I could tell there's some. He's definitely there's something up about this guy. He's definitely a character. He's a character, and he's definitely going to kind of give Ethan a run for his money of maybe keeping on edge, kind of like Lethal Weapon. Like, oh, okay, he's just kind of crazy, but there's sanity there. Well, here's sanity, but except his level of craziness is on another level that is just
Right.
like, holy crap, how do you comprehend this? And this is technically his first day in the biz after he was like because I know he mentioned around he had been a pig for 18 months, but in terms of this particular idea, this is his first day in this particular field.
Ethan Hawke's pretty damn good in this too, though. I mean, he's
yeah.
also one of my favorite actors.
He's outstanding.
Never disappoints, and of course, the great Antoine Fuqua, his second
Mhm.
movie that he directed. What a great director that guy is. He always gets kind of half forgotten about when people talk
He
about the great
does.
directors, and yet he's magnificent. He's made so
He
many
does.
good movies.
Yeah, he's a great director, and you gotta also remember who's this also written by? David Ayer.
David Ayer.
And what makes it more important about David Ayer, not just because he's really talented and he's also another pretty respectable director. He was the sole writer of this movie. That is like a unicorn sight of rarity in Hollywood in like the last 15 years, maybe even 20 years. Dude, one writer, top to bottom. Like every day, especially nowadays where they want like a whole like kitchen filled with people taking over a script, and we use the same in Too Many Cooks in the Kitchen. There's also the people who do the rewrites, just David Ayer. So you got not only a great writer, but just the only guy. Like imagine how many scripts could be tighter And maybe that adds to a lot of these stories that get extended nowadays, where everything is 2.5 to 3 hours long because people just add things and people add and more adding. And
So
more
what you're
adding.
saying is we got the ear cut here. We actually got the ear cut. It was just the ear cut.
Oh, that was good. Well played. You know, even though I cannot stand 2016 Suicide Squad, I do hope just for David Ayer.
Yeah.
Just for David Ayer that it comes out, because
done some good stuff. Yeah,
he's done good stuff, and I know he is someone who does care about the medium of movies, and he's made it very apparent that he says it's a better movie. And I actually do kind of believe in that, because sometimes directors say that and you'll see like 5 minutes of difference. I actually believe it with him, because I do notice he does try. He does try, and he does give a crap when he makes these movies. So I would actually welcome his. I'll never like his Joker. I'll never like, Wigger Thug Joker. But the movie as a whole, I'll be happy to admit if it's a better movie overall. I won't. Once again, I also won't forgive Hula Hula Girl. But if it's a better movie, fucking let's go. Oh, here, dude, right here. This right here. This is where you get the first idea. Whoa, this guy is kind of like extreme with just a bunch of kids doing drugs. Like, and this is at a time. Remember, guys, marijuana was once illegal. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, I was kind of laughing when I'm like,
I don't know. I was too stoned to remember.
right?
Oh, that was good. No, but I was just like, oh wow, and once again, it's that moment where we're living through Jake, because Jake's like, okay, like I get it, like they have something illegal on them, and yeah, we should do something about it, but he's kind of harsh.
He's pretty hard on a little bit of pot,
yeah. So once again, we're living through Jake, and we're like, man, it's kind of like, bro, don't you think it's a bit much for that? Like, there's literally a million other guys we could be doing this to in LA for more justified reasons, and this is how we're handling on these guys, and this is the first people that they deal with in the day, just the first. Just imagine what's to come. Oh, Bruce for $10 says, I'd be happy to recommend 2013's Magnificent Seven because the director's steady hand on the film, start to finish. Denzel's character here is nicer than that movie too. Wow. Maybe one day I'll give that version a shot.
It's not bad. It isn't bad.
Not bad, yeah.
I love the original. Most who know me know my heart.
Seven Samurai.
Is
just kidding. Sorry.
I love my originals, but thank you, Bruce, for the 10, sir, and appreciate you, brother. All right, let's carry
Nick,
on.
I dropped the overlay logo.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
if you want
thank you.
Well, we're on the tubes of you.
Then I'll get it up, and you guys get going with this real quick. Let me.
This was an uncomfortable bit. You're thinking, is he really going to make him do this? And this is weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Oh, it's awkward. It's awkward because it's one of those things where we all like imagine. It's kind of like where you're dealing with someone who's in a power of like authority. It'd be like if we were in like imagine like middle school, and if like the teacher just came up to you and said, "Hey, why don't you take this shot of this tequila?" You'd be nervous, like. Are you sure? Like,
because you just think, is this tough love or is there something else?
Yeah. What's the point? Is this a tough love? Is this like some secret code thing? Like, is there something like, are you trying to break me in? What's the point here? It messes with your mind. Like, well, I don't get this. Also, on top of it, isn't this technically illegal? That's how True Blue, Ethan Hawke's Jake character was. He was supposed to be like the most purest of the pure guys. Like he's supposed to be a very clean guy. They hinted a little bit of his backstory, but the few bits that they hinted, it wasn't like anything where he had like destructive behavior. He was just, it sounds like he may have been, a typical teenager or adult early on, but he got his shit together quickly and moved up in the world quickly because obviously he has a wife and daughter and wanted to become a police officer. So it's clear that whatever little rebellion phase he had was very short-lived.
Well,
Oh,
Doesn't it turn out it's laced? This was laced with something too. I guess.
Yes,
Did they say later? It was
something.
PCP.
PCP, I think.
Yeah,
and he
PCP.
knew that too. And he knew that too. Like here, you don't know that, but
Right.
you know, as
Yeah.
from his point of view, right? But then you find out later, Denzel's, you know,
Yeah,
he knows if he has to
Denzel
do a drug
knew.
test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is really an authentic gang neighborhood of called the Jungles in Los Angeles. And a gang founder was on set for all the filming in his neighborhood and allowed the producers to use the film in the neighborhood in exchange for casting gang members. So there are actual gangbangers in the movie as is in the cast, and they filmed in a really dangerous neighborhood in LA, but they had protection.
But didn't he get in trouble for that though? Didn't the gang member guy wasn't there some pushback for him allowing them to be there and being on set? I thought I heard something about that. I didn't see anything in like Internet Movie Database or whatever, but I mean in the last like however many years, I want to say I heard something about that.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
sorry,
looking at IMDb.
you heard about the what? Sorry, Dustin. What did you hear about?
No, about that they got into trouble for having some gang members on the set.
Well, no, the gang member,
protection.
the gang member that was on set that that was their like kind of their person got in trouble from other gang members for being involved.
Right.
Oh, for being legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're giving away information.
Right.
I can see that happening. Yeah, but of course, on the other hand, the producers are probably like, if we don't hire some of these people, I mean, that's happened many times in Hollywood history. You know, if you don't hire some people in the neighborhood, it ain't going to go down so well for you. I don't care how many cops are around, right? I mean, it's not going to happen. So it doesn't surprise me, that they would, grease the wheels, so to speak. That's the way.
So here's yet another in a long, honorable lineage of films about corrupt LA cops. The list goes on and on and on.
All right, I gotta acknowledge this really quick.
Sexual discrimination.
Oh, hold up! Why did that happen? There's more to that clip. Sorry, guys.
Sexual discrimination.
Oh, it's clipping the clip.
All right. Anyways,
it's erotic. It's erotic enough as it is without playing more.
Yes, Mars Monkey Max did five memberships. Thank you, sir. Mars Monkey Max. Cheers, dude. That is freaking. You guys are coming in very hot for the new year, 2025. Man, it's just the first Toxic Tuesday, first stream. Oh boy. This awkward situation right here, where you meet Alonzo's buddy, and they're all chatting, and he tells what's supposed to be a joke, and obviously Mr. Stoned out of his mind, Jake, laughs, and they're both not batting a single eye. They're like, oh,
not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. I was like, oh, bro. I actually felt uneasy with him in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
the whole thing's, you're on edge the whole time watching it.
Yeah.
I thought Scott Carpenter was going to be like an ex-cop or something, but then did they ever actually say who he is or what he does in this movie? Or,
yeah. Later
he's
on.
An ex.
Did I miss it?
Scott Glenn. He's
Scott Glenn, yes.
I think it's meant to be an ex-cop, but I mean, there's talk about the Russian gangs here, and because that's what Denzel's into. It just does it explicitly say he's an ex-cop? It doesn't, does it?
No.
Yeah, like I was wondering, was he a dirty ex-cop or obviously Denzel trusts him, but then it seemed like, was he just like a big-time drug dealer that's got all this big, stash of cash in his house?
He was a big-time drug dealer. He said, but he's your friend. He says, why? Because he knows my first name. I've been working on him for a year.
He is an ex-cop, I think, yes, but he is a drug dealer now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so
he's one of the bigger drug dealers in that area.
Yeah, he's dirty.
Huge dealer.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge.
Yes. Oh, and you could tell once again, he's so antsy to do an actual like proper police officer job. I'll tell you, man, that's incredible reflex. The fact that he was like, still kind of coming off the high of the drugs and the minute he sees like an actual crime, it's kind of like when you have that moment where something bad happens, whether you're drunk or high, and then something sets you off, and before you know it, you're instantly like functional again. He had that moment right here, and it was cool to see him do the two fights against the two bums. I was actually shocked. Like I thought Denzel Alonzo. I was so on edge with this. I thought he was actually going to kill these guys, and like especially when he pointed the gun at the balls, I was like, "Holy crud, dude! this guy's getting scary. What's his deal?" And so first how he's watching him too. First he watches him, and then he gets involved.
Yeah, because what Ethan Hawke doesn't know, his character doesn't know, is that he's in doing this, he's saving his own life.
Oh, I know. This was a
total foreshadowing.
Scene that you didn't know was a setup that became a payoff.
Yeah,
that was
brilliantly done.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness, because when you're watching, it's just him being a cop doing his actual job, trying to actually get out there and do something. And you would have not ever pieced it together. That would be something that would turn into some for payoff for later. No one sees that as that, and that's fine. That's a genius way of doing it. I'm like, man, we need more of that type of storytelling where there's a scene that looks at the time like it's just a basic scene, and then boom. Because usually when there's like a set payoff, you can tell where a domino is being laid. You can kind of tell, okay, that's obviously this is meant to be taken for somewhere. And then, then you happen, oh, there you go. Cool, great, awesome. But not this. You don't see this and think of that. You just think it's just a cool moment. That obviously with Denzel still being kind of his egotistical self.
Yeah, and you're like, what the heck? Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, it's an afterthought because the scene. It seems like the scene is over when I think it's Ethan's character notices the pink wallet on the ground and picks it up and pockets it, and it's like. It doesn't appear to be other than, okay, so I'm just not going to leave this here because it's got ID in it. But, you don't really think anything of it.
No, it was great because, that once again, he's just doing stuff that a cop should be doing. He's picking up evidence, some left behind in case he runs into her, he could return it to her. And that's honestly, I thought that's all it's going to be is, at worst, maybe he'll return it to her if he sees her again, type of thing, or just bring it to the office, lost and found, type of thing, because that does happen too. But yes, His Excellency on Rumble, yes, it is based off of the real officer Rafael Perez, and apparently Denzel wanted to match the appearance of Rafael Perez, so that's pretty cool that he went all in at the bit, like making the appearance there too. So that explains the do-rag, the big chains, the jacket. I'm like, bro.
This is Gary's favorite part of the movie when he gets the kid to pull his trousers down.
Right?
Oh, damn.
And then close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Yeah. Oh, God.
You're lucky I have more pressing business. I was like, wow, he actually is lucky. He has no idea. And he looks so confused, like, okay, that guy actually was doing something wrong, but something still feels off about this. I don't know, man. And hey, Jake, I'm right there with you, dude. So I learned, when they were casting for Ethan Hawke's character, I did hear about Tobey Maguire. Apparently, Toby got into training for this role until Ethan was. Well, yeah, I know, right? Until Ethan was available, and they're just like, "Oh, you know what? Sorry, Toby, but we're gonna go with this guy." It kind of worked out because half a year later, Tobey Maguire played some character named Spider-Man for 3 movies. I don't think anyone's heard about it, but just a little fun fact. Yeah, it looked like it worked out because he got 3 movies and a mini movie. A decade and a half later, so not bad. Not a bad replacement gig for Toby, right? Not bad at all.
Yeah. He would have. I'm sure he would have picked him in Spider-Man if he, choice. Any actor's going to take Spider-Man over as great as this role is. But knowing the cheddar that would lead to. I mean, but I could see Tobey Maguire in this role. Yeah, it's kind of like the naive. Well, I shouldn't say naive, but wet behind the ears. Because he's Hawk in this. In this beginning part. Is totally subservient to he's the rookie, even though he's a cop and he's obviously a good cop.
Well, it's rookie behavior.
And he's just in awe of Denzel. And then all of it, Denzel's got him on his back feet the whole time, having him guessing because he's this great super duper police officer or narcotics officer who's got this great squad who's been bringing people down, and then you're wondering as this goes on like. Who is he tied into? And then they said, warrant costs $40,000, and you're wondering, like, wow, how much corruption is going around here? So, but I mean, it's scary shit, though. I mean, I knew someone who was working undercover, and he told me, if you ever see me on the street, don't say hi to me. If you ever, don't recognize, obviously not wearing, my normal clothes is like. Don't approach me. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Just keep on going. But I mean, just think of all the the cops and the people that go undercover and try to break up these gangs, and it's some scary shit. So Hawk is going into this having looking up to this guy like a superhero.
Yeah,
as a Superman, and then right away, he's telling him to do pot. He's drinking.
It's the Superman. He is Homelander.
He's gaslighting him about things.
If there's one thing though, he was right about when he saw Jake with his ring. He said, "Hide that shit," and he did have a point with that though, because once again, and that alludes to your point about if you see your bud, don't acknowledge him, don't say anything, just he doesn't exist. Basically, he definitely did make that point about the ring. Like, hey, when you're out here, you got to take that ring off because they will use that shit.
They'll use anything
against you. Now. I could actually see Tobey Maguire in this role because one thing, him and Ethan Hawke, both older, still look young. They both look like guys who be fresh off a job at their high school. Even with even both are more seasoned now. They both look very young guys. So they also had that like innocent looking guy to them. Like,
I think they should have had
he would never touch a feather.
Timothy Chalamet. He should have played the role.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I think Timothy
and Zendaya could have been.
Zendaya could have been
Denzel.
The remake will be Zendaya as the Denzel.
Oh, Zendaya Denzel. And so see, the problem is that Denzel Washington is so freaking expressive, and outside of No Way Home, she has one expression in all her other movies. I'll admit, I had no issue with her character in No Way Home because she actually tried to play a character. And I don't know if that was her on a good day or if that was a script that gave her work to work with, but everything else is just the one expression character. It's the bitch face stare. That's it. All the other movies. Tell me I'm wrong.
But that seems to be modern acting, though. Look at how many of them do that.
True.
Especially in Disney and Marvel stuff, the bitch stare is all they've got.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, really quickly, since we got this King Kong, sorry, not King Kong. I meant to say Snoop Dogg scene. They also were eyeing at Eminem for Ethan Hawke's role, but Eminem also had his movie come out. So they went with that instead. But can you imagine how fun it would have been for Eminem to capture Snoop Dogg, rapper capturing rapper type of thing? I was like, oh, that would have been a funny dynamic just to have seen this one scene. Overall, I would want Eminem in this role, but for this one scene would have been it.
That would have been led to some rap wars, right?
Was this really sticking the pen down the throat?
And Dr. Dre's in this too, right?
Yeah, Dr. Dre's in this. Terry Crews is
in this.
I think Macy Gray is in a scene as well.
Yeah, Macy Gray is awesome. She's the one who uses that menu from the restaurant in the morning, the menu in the glove box.
Yeah.
She's got those big nails and shit.
Yes, at the house. Yeah, the raid. The raid.
Mhm.
Yes, I remember now. Because I remember thinking, wow, she looks so familiar. But and man, if I had not learned that was Macy Gray, I wouldn't have thought, because she acts like absolutely no bad bitch in that scene with her son Dimitri there. But so that was a very good effective scene of her done in one character. I like it. There's a lot of names in here, and a lot of them only have like one part. So I wonder if this is like, hey, Denzel, it seems like you got a lot of friends. Can you just have them do like a scene, and then they're like, yep, I'll do your scene. Oh, Ava Mendes too. And I think she technically had 2 scenes, but still. Okay, so she got the one extra, but everyone else had like their one type of moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, this cast it's a pretty big cast, even though it mainly revolves around just the 2 guys. It is overall fairly large and kind of all-star base.
Do you think Eva Mendes was his girlfriend, or was that definitely his wife? Or like, I wonder if he had like that was what?
That was a side piece.
That's what I
that
thought.
was his baby mama.
Yeah,
That's what I thought,
that was a side piece through and
That's not
through.
something bad to have on the side, though. But thankfully, my wife.
And she actually wanted. So
On the
she
side,
actually.
on
My
her,
wife is not.
on all fours. Who cares? On her side, on all fours. Yeah.
You are a very toxic man, Mark.
Oh, God, going to confession again already. Yep.
oh, yeah, Soul, right? Yeah, and she was in Spider-Man, which she's Spider-Man and Train Day.
Right.
That's right. They're in the same universe. Yeah.
Oh,
That means they're in
man.
the same. Yeah. Well, okay. There's lots of universes that could be the same.
See, okay. When I was a teenager, I always said like I want to move to California, and when I saw this movie, I'm like, okay, so I still want to move to California. I just won't move to LA. I'll just move to San Francisco. And now here we are in 2025, and San Francisco has become the victim of shit too. But this opened up my eyes to LA, because I'm like, this can't be. This has to be exaggerated. And I would find out, no, a lot of this is actually LA. I was like, oh, damn.
Well, this is LA when it was not so bad.
And at the time, to me, this is bad. Now it seems like nothing.
Well, you live in Chirac, so it can't be.
Chirac.
Can't be anything bad for
Chirac.
you, right?
I lived in Chirac twice. Overall, when you put my time from both times I lived in Chirac, I'd say around 12 or 13 years. I've done a decade. Around 14 or 15. But yeah, around a decade and a half of each, the city and the burbs. I've literally lived the best and worst of both worlds. So if everyone wanted to know advantages, disadvantages, I'm literally the go-to guy for that, because I can tell you all the good and bad from it.
Because I mean, if you live in Chicago, like it just really depends on what neighborhood you live in too. Because I spent a lot of time in like the near Wrigleyville area, and it was always nice. Yeah,
that area is now. The funny part is I lived near there for my second stint in Chicago, and it was at a time too where the area had been considered cleaned up. But then I had Splitsville with the mother of my children at the time. And then right as I was about to get out, the crime started ramping right back up. And the timing was really good, because that's when I started hearing gunshots at night. And I was just like, oh, damn, I like this area. I'm like, yeah, it's got the crappy Cubs, but at least this area is cool. Like there was,
because I was always hanging out like right there, like just north of where Clark's was, that restaurant Clark's, right?
Dude.
And there was like right across the street from the Vic.
If you literally go the other way down Clark, headed towards Evanston.
Yeah.
That's where I was headed. I was at the borderline between Evanston and Chicago. So that was me on my second stint. And yeah, getting to the metro at that time was really quick. But yeah, I went to as I mentioned, that trade school I went to, that was in the hood of Melrose Park. And it was a dominantly black school. I was the token at that school, actually. I was the token at that school. I'm being serious too, by the way. That's not me trying to joke around or like have fun gags. I was a token at that school. I was like, a good amount of Latinos, but mostly black. And yeah, there's a handful of pasties. In my case, I'm a half a pasty. But yeah, I was a token. It was fine. I lived and I got along with the guys good. And even though I saw the knife swinging and the carjackings and the car keyings and the crazy ladies and baby mamas and dude, and the sword scissoring, I was safe. I was safe territory throughout it all. I was untouched. And His Excellency Donald Trump with a $1 Rumble rant says, before Fukuoka's director, Davis Guggenheim, the executive producer, is going to direct with Samuel L. Jackson as Alonzo and Matt Damon as Jake. Jackson was Frank Tenpenny and San Andreas based on Perez. Thank you, His Excellency, for the $1 Rumble rant. Now, I did not know that about Sam Jackson and Matt Damon. Now, I could see Sam Jackson. I can see that. I'm not too sure about Matt Damon.
I don't even think with Sam Jackson, I don't think it would have been the same grittiness.
No,
I think
it would have not been the same grittiness, but he'd have the energy. He'd have the energy. Probably not had the King Kong line, though. We would definitely have not had that moment in the third act. That we would have not had for sure.
I don't think Samuel L. Jackson has the cocky nature that Denzel has in this movie, and I don't know if he could pull it off. And I hate to say that because I love them both as actors, but I just wonder if it. I think this is one of those like they got the right people to do it.
Okay, yeah, and this, well, it was obviously the right people to, because this was straight up, in my opinion, getting these two together. For me, this is like a lightning in a bottle type of cast. And not to downplay Ethan Hawke's career, I still think, even though this is over 20 years ago and he's much younger, this is still, to me, one of his best roles, if not his best roles, even though he's slightly outshined by Washington. It was just one of those movies. Sometimes you have a moment, and it doesn't mean everything else in your career actor is crap. It's just you captured something really unique at the time, and it just can't be duplicated.
It's a great the director as well, of course, Antoine Fuqua, and he works so well with Denzel. Like they're kind of, it's like 5 movies they made or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're really, it's just the right combination. Absolutely. Fuqua is such an assured director. This was only like his 3rd movie or something.
Yeah.
Both of these guys were nominated for Academy Awards. Denzel for best actor in a leading role, and Ethan Hawke for best actor in a supporting role. And Denzel won in that year. Ethan didn't, but they were both nominated for their roles in this. So that tells you how well they were cast and how well they did this.
Yeah. Also, outside of this role, and because I could see why people maybe assume the whole thing with Denzel and Ava, because right after this movie, they also did another role together. The movie wasn't as hot. It's probably one of the weaker points of Washington's career, but it's called Out of Time. They did do that movie, and they were both ended starring together. So they think, okay, look, they're together in this movie, they're together in that movie. But no, once again, just as we clarify, she's a side piece. But I can see why people may have made the connection if they really remember their movies well. Because that was, I'm pretty sure Out of Time was 2002. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe 2003 at best. But
it was 2003 according to
okay. I was off by one again. But we get the point. We get the idea. Because no, I'm pretty sure Man on Fire was 2003 as well. I think Man on Fire was 2003, I think. So, okay.
Oh, and Davina want to know if your car had any bullet holes, Nick.
Okay, let me go look at her comment. Does Nick's car have bullet holes? So, okay, so to be transparent, this was in 2007 through late 2008, maybe to the first week of 2009. No bullet holes were ever in my car. I had heard about a shooting, but I had never actually seen it. It wasn't actually at the school, but it was near the neighborhood. So I didn't hear about. I did hear some very scary stories about gang beat ups. So I did hear about some really brutal ones. Not that they make them right, but it sounds like one of the ones that I know about involving a king. They had a justify, I guess you could say, more justified reason. I'm not trying to glorify violence here, but apparently one of the guys is apparently like his girlfriend was getting violated by a bunch of other gangbangers. So they took upon them to apparently unleash hell on the guy. So yeah, in that case, that's good. Gangs are not good, but if you're being someone up for doing wrong to a lady, I get it. So yeah. I get your point. I'm just saying, if you want to get revenge on someone for not like revenge, like killing, but decking the guy in the face for trying to rape a girl, you shouldn't want to do that. You guys gotta get hit to the face to learn, hey, that shit's not cool, bro. But anyways, I was actually kind of freaked out when I saw he had a son in this. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is scary. He's got a son, and he seems like the most like nicest, like happy-go-lucky kid too. Like,
Innocent.
Yeah. Once again, another innocent type of thing. No, yeah. And okay, we clarify. Yeah, guns and stuff. Yeah, not with it. I like guns in period, but yeah, not in terms of how you handle outside issues. Yeah, I agree. Fist fight, I'm good with. But anyway, let's move on from that. I didn't know this scene took me a few bits to comprehend because I didn't instinctively understand this scene at first. And I know a few watch of this when it came out on DVD. Yeah, DVD is the front. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. But man, Ethan's now at a point where he's just like, what the hell is this day? Like, hold on.
You wonder if he recognizes any of these people.
I saw a overreaction to drugs. I stopped a rape happening. Also, I think Denzel fucked a girl and I hung out with his son. And now we're at some bar where he's drinking wine, and it's probably at this point, 2, maybe 3 p.m. in the afternoon. What kind of cop is this? Oh, and I've been drugged, and I also had a beer, and he was doing that while he was driving. And we also stopped in the middle of the road just so he can force me to take the drugs. Holy crap. Remember all that, guys. Everything he's been through at this point. I think that would make most people quit their job that day.
It's totally nuts. And what I was going to say too, yeah, you wonder if one of these guys a judge maybe, or like who are these people here too? Like you wonder if he recognizes any of these guys too. And this is all you find out later that they're all corrupt, right?
The three wise men, yeah,
right. Talking about the Russians here, it's like how would they know about the Russians unless they're corrupt? And I thought initially Denzel just went to Vegas and gambled, a shit ton of money. And then owed a lot of money, and then you realize he actually just lost his temper and killed the Russian mobster, obviously, or someone connected, and that's the whole, and this whole training day is just because of that. So Ethan Hawke's character he's the fall guy, so it's a great setup and a great story that makes sense. It's too many times you watch a movie like, I can't believe that just happened, or stupid, or like I just watched that Lord of the Rings Rohirrim movie, and then. The girl in the end turns into this freaking superhero for the last 15 minutes and is kicking ass against, 300-pound guys. This movie is, believable. You can picture yourself being in Ethan. You sympathize with Ethan Hawke. You're like, I'd be psyched to be on a training day with, Denzel Washington or, a cop like that and, moving up. And then gradually the layers of the onion are peeled and every layer just gets more and more rotten.
Well, you'd be wondering, what the hell do I do here?
Right.
I mean, I'm seeing all this stuff I shouldn't be seeing. It looks like it's all illegal or shit's going down. I can't say anything. I'll be a rat. What the hell do I do? Is this it? The rest of my life? Is this the rest of my working life?
In pizza terms, he's excited to be going. He finds out he's going to a pizza party. He's excited because it's a pizza party. But then he gets there and finds out that the pizza is like Papa John's or Domino's.
I thought you were going to go for some other kind of pizza party there that certain well-known
No,
figures may have held.
no. I was talking about like how we went from quality. He thinks he's gonna get quality pizza to oh no, I'm getting the cardboard stuff. Oh no. And his equivalent of thinking he's gonna be getting some of a great life. Oh no, it's not quality. It's everything but quality. This is a very scary, dangerous life, and these guys don't actually arrest people. They actually straight up keep them out there. And which is fun because Alonzo bragged at some point in the movie that apparently he basically built a jail with how many guys he's put away. You're looking at his actions, you sure about that, dude? You sure about that? Because your actions are filled with people you either outright kill or you just let them go. And they have a high probability of just doing it all again. Explain to me how that one is supposed to work. Explain that. Holy, that's crazy. Oh, I know. Oh, Dr. Dre right there.
He's not a real doctor. I just found that out today. I just found that out today. He's not a real
I had
doctor.
to remind myself you weren't talking about Anthony Fauci. So. Oh. All right, it's 1 hour into the show. By the way, chat, we will be transitioning somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes from now because this movie is already over halfway with the slideshow. So please keep your Rumble tab open. And when we get there, we're going to play some clips and it's going to be good. It's going to be bloody good. So I will post the link once again right here. Now, I didn't expect them to go after this guy who he perceived to be Alonzo's friend. Yeah. But I thought the stuff that follows his inevitable death was even better. And now this is the part where the movie escalated the tension on all fronts. If the movie is already like kind of teetering at like an 8.5 or 9 in terms of tenseness, this brought to 11 right here. Because I'm like, holy crud. This guy who he thought was his friend's dead. And now freaking Jake has Denzel by the balls with a gun at his head. And he's just like, easy. We're all cool here. We're all here. Cool. Jake makes you really think I can do this right now. And he ushers another important line that kind of messes with his mind. It's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove. And well, as someone who's lived a life dealing with stuff in the legal system, that is very true for better and worse. I have to emphasize the "and" on that part because it really doesn't matter what you know. You have to prove it.
You see, this movie is now turned into a lesson about the evils of taxation. You see, it took a real switch there.
Oh man, that was brilliant. Sorry.
This is a parable for the government right here. We're going to take this stuff at gunpoint, whether you like it or not. You thought we were your friend.
Nope. We're from the government and we're here to help.
That's right.
Oh, man.
We're here to help ourselves do your stuff.
That's it. We're gonna make the rest of this movie all about a libertarian like allegory type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Dude, I just realized at this point in time, since granted she's barely in this movie, but I think we gotta mention it. She's one of those actresses who was kind of everywhere, and then she just kind of stopped. Eva Mendes. Does anyone know what happened? Because I know she voiced one episode of Bluey, but outside of that, she hasn't done anything in like 10 years. And I was like,
as a voice actress, what a waste! What a waste!
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a good episode. I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to get is, I didn't hear about anything bad happening to her, and clearly she's still alive. It was just one of those things where it just like she was around, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like You know,
If I was to make a guess, I'd say she probably got married and had kids and decided to just,
Oh.
That's what
stay
Soul
home.
Assassin just said. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
And I think that's quite a good thing.
You never know. She could have maybe got wrapped up in some of that stuff and decided just to step back away from Hollywood.
You never know.
She could have been
she
invited.
married Ken. Oh, I
Well,
did not
she
know
is.
married
Isn't
Ken.
she married to Ryan Gosling?
Yep, that's a dark
Yeah,
horse.
so she's been staying home with the kids while he's been out partying with Russell Crowe.
Oh,
Maybe that's why she's doing Bluey. It's the Russell Crowe connection. That's an Australian show.
well, she
Bluey's so
did
good.
one episode on Bluey. She did one episode.
But she's done some other Bluey stuff since, according to
Oh yeah,
IMDb.
she did like a children's book. But as far as
Yeah,
actual,
she's read
like,
some books or something. Along with
Books.
Jennifer.
Hold on, say
Books.
again.
Books. With the Kylie and Danny Minogues. They're in those
Well,
two.
I'll say that. That's very commendable on her
Books.
part to have chose the family life, because there are a lot of moms once they become it. And it's not like I expect that they have to focus on their kids, but if you can balance it out, hey, great. More power to you. But the fact that you just went all in.
Disgusting that she didn't make Ryan Gosling stay home and look after the kids while she worked.
Yeah, I mean, what don't they need the money?
The patriarchy again.
Oh, that actually makes it more fitting that he was Ken. Oh, that's great.
That's what she got for marrying a Canadian.
Well, he's going to be an American citizen soon. Once we add Canada as the 51st and 52nd.
Not if he
state,
lives
right?
in British Columbia, because then he'll become a. Isn't that part going to subsume California and Washington and Oregon?
Yeah, you can have Seattle, Oregon, and California. Yeah.
I've been saying for decades that all this stuff's going to realign.
Yeah.
America and Canada, things are going to realign, and certain like Alberta and Saskatchewan will join the US. And then parts of Canada will become a separate country along with the crazy left coast stuff. It's all going to realign.
Traveling will be easier if you become part of America. If you come down here, it'll be easier. You don't have to worry about all the crazy passport and the borderline and all that jazz. Oh, God, hold on. Is this real? I hear apparently there's fires going on in LA as we're talking about a movie, talking about corrupt LA right now.
James
I swear.
Yeah.
That is really freaky.
Directed energy weapons.
LA's on fire as we're talking about a movie where a portion of LA was on fire 23 years ago. Granted, one was fiction, today's reality, but holy coincidence.
It's just
coincidence.
Just before the big one. The big one's about to hit it as well. So that'll put the fires out when the 200-foot tsunami sweeps right over left coast. That'll put the fires out.
You know, I actually thought Ethan Hawke's Jake was actually gonna shoot this guy. I was actually impressed that he stuck to his guns and didn't do it. But I actually was convinced he was actually gonna do it. And then I definitely kind of had chuckle. And the guy's like, "Oh, dude, that one bullet actually went through." I was like, "Oh, damn! Holy crap!" And then, of course, another important line happens. Do you wanna go home, or do you want to go? God, I'm already.
You go home, or you want to go to jail?
Yeah, you want to go to jail or go home, or the other, vice versa. You get the point, though. I was just like, that's a damn good line, man. Holy crud! Oh, yes. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, when Denzel, fuck it, I'll do it myself. He just shot him like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was, I'll tell you what, man. I forgot I had turned my volume up because it's one of those movies with my TV. I had to turn the volume up and down. And they're talking, I had to turn it up. And then when that shot happened, dude,
boom,
fucking loud. My bro was like, oh, damn. I forgot how loud that shot was. And they buttered me up too, because they say cover the blinds. I should have taken that as a subtle hint that maybe I should turn my volume down. That's my own version of doing something about it. But I just got like, oh, it's just gonna be a normal gunshot, bro. Shit was freaking loud. Like I was like, oh damn, I think the kids heard that one. When is in California? Oh, to be fair, there's parts of California that are not always on fire. I hear like the Redwoods is cool. And I hear San Diego still looks good. So that's just, going off of what I'm hearing. So I still hear there's some good here and there. So anyway, I got a message from Bruce. I'm gonna send it to the Bruce. Yeah. Bruce, check your DMs, sir. Okay. And yes, heads up, we will transition in 10 minutes. Oh, once again, it's probably my second favorite scene right here in the movie. Second favorite right here. Where he's got all the guns in the back of the world in the back of his head, and then yet he's got a gun to freaking Alonzo. I was like, holy damn. Like I was sweating bullets from this scene.
This is when he finally shows some balls. Not that he, hasn't before, but the first time he really, rebels against, and it's like, holy shit, because this has just gone so crazy all of a sudden. It's not like, they're stealing some money from this guy, and, they're working him over. And yeah, it's going to go into evidence. And what's the guy going to say? He's a drug dealer. They stole some of my cash, prove it. Now they're taking the guy out. And isn't Dr. Dre's character is like, he's the first one to say, just shoot him. And it's just this just goes super dark, super fast. But you can see where Ethan Hawke is. He's not taking it anymore. That's it. He's snapped too. The training is over, right? I mean, this is, and I know these guys could come. They're all corrupt now. He finds out they're all corrupt, so then they can come take him out too now with what they've got on him. So it's and then would be everyone against this is Denzel's a decorated cop, right? His word with his crew against Hawk is a rookie. It's not going to end up well for him. So
Coming
just
back,
taking a turn. This is taking a turn from like, maybe he's a little corrupt, maybe he's he's got his hand in the till, but he's full on basically like a drug dealer in this movie, criminal. It's just yeah.
Well, it comes back to the words I just said that he likes to utter at this point. It's not about what it's about what you can prove. And he's a veteran at setting up the stage for what is perceived as to what happened, because he lays it all out. Okay, we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna have it shoot you, so it looks like he actually tried to shoot you first. That way it can be self-defense. It's clear he knows he's a pro at covering his tracks. Like when I saw him do that, I was like, it made me like, I straight up thought in my head at this time when I saw this, I was like, holy crap. Does someone actually do this in real life? Because how do you just think of this? I'm like, you have to have some experience to do it. And you have to be really, really well seasoned in the field to be able to stage something like this. Because then I thought to myself, wow, I wonder how corrupt the system is in real life. And at the time I wanted to know. Nowadays, I don't want to know, because it freaks me out that something like this, especially in big cities, may be a bit commonplace. I hope it's not, but oh boy, this shit really concerned me. I was like, fuck, dude.
Like the Shield, or there's one. I don't know if the Shield was out before or after this, but yeah, it's just you wonder too. Plus, these cops are dealing with all this money and all this evidence, and you hope that everyone's follows the rules. But I mean, it's pretty damn tempting if you got what was that in that room? How many millions of dollars were in there? Just sitting there.
4 million, I think.
4 million, he said, or something. So it's pretty tempting not to take a little piece, right? Get your beak wet. So
get your beak wet, put your kids through college, get your girls something nice, as he said. And he just outright refused it. Like, he was telling me, hey, you don't feel comfortable. All their guys are, we're comfortable. We're comfortable. And it's a whole thing about being desensitized to everything around you. He's basically living that life of, wow, everything to him is so shocking. But to these guys, this is just another day. So because it's new to him, it shocks him. Whereas these guys like, what are you all shocked about? This is just how things are. And it reminded me of my second time in the city. Like, the first time I heard about crime happening, at that time it shocked me. But as time got on, I did get used to it because I heard about it so often. And then even the gunshots before I left, I was sadly used to hearing gunshots. And it was one of those things where when I left the neighborhood, it didn't really register until I had actually left Chicago the second time. Like, holy crap, how did I get used to gunshots? Like, do you realize how crazy it is to say that? Like, say that statement out loud. I got used to gunshots. Like that's like, but I did. And then I realized that's just how other people in Chicago, that's when it kind of clicked to me how there is a bit of a bubble effect in Chicago and people don't know it. And that's why I say all the time, it takes leaving the bubble to know it's a bubble, because you're not going to know unless you actually do it. So I could see why people in big cities deny it. I'm not saying it's justified. I just, as someone who's lived there, I get where it's coming from.
All right, look guys. We're going to transition. Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, like New York City subway, my kids are all working in New York, and freaking, a guy was pushed onto the subway tracks last week. He lived, unbelievable. You can see it, the footage they have, and the girl that was set on fire, woman was set on fire, burned to death, and people were watching.
Oh, scary.
And then the guy that was stabbing people, then it came out today, he was stabbed. He'd been arrested 83 times. It's like, how many times you get arrested before they just lock you up and throw away the key? As Bob Grant used to say, once a criminal gives notice on society, that's it. I mean, 83 times. 83 times. And they finally, and he was going around stabbing people, and they finally nabbed him. But it's scary, and it's a lot of time. And most of the time, it's someone like that who's been arrested so many, multiple times. It's a small percentage that creates the most problems. Jeez. So that's why you're rooting for Denzel and then these guys in the beginning of the movie. And then it totally flips the script, which is why it's such a good movie. And it takes place in one day. So it's such a tight film. Great job directing. So, but okay, I don't want to interrupt there. I don't want to hold up anyone who wants to transition, though. We shouldn't do that. I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Oh no. Like, chat, we are going to transition over shortly in about, I'd say, 3 minutes. Finally, your 3-minute warning. We're gonna finally transition over to Rumble. So, and that'll be Rumble exclusive per se. And there's some real game-changing scenes here. So, let's have some fun. Once again, I'm gonna throw we got your buddy for $2 on Rumble with a $2 Rumble rant. Says this part of the film always sticks with me, is how you watch a boy mature into a man. And he says, for you, it was a traumatic event. For me, it was a Tuesday. Dude, well spoken. Thank you for that $2 Rumble rant, your buddy 75. That is very well worded. Yeah. I did see a Mad Mardigan. No,
coming up.
I didn't. Dude, apparently,
I think his $2 Rumble rant was actually above that. It's this part of the film always sticks with me, with how you watch a boy mature into a man.
Oh, I did say that stuff. I said both parts. I just
all right. Oh, you did. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
Did you get the Rumble rant from His Excellency Donald Trump?
Oh, I did. I did. Just checking, man. I actually try to be good about acknowledging Rumble rants. That's just, like one of my.
I might have been out of the chair when that one happened.
Oh, you're good, buddy. You're good. No, what I love about this scene, and is something. Apparently, it's something that's been pointed out that you don't know unless you're like super duper like eagle-eyed, or in this case, eagle-eared. You're supposed to pay attention for when Alonzo leaves with his car. You're supposed to pay attention to hearing the engine, which you don't think about. You're just thinking, oh, okay, so he's just going into a room to go talk whatever business, I guess you could say.
Yep.
And he's just going to be in there on passing time until Alonzo's ready to peace on out of there. But really, it's not just that. He's actually about to he outright left them there stranded, maybe even argue in this case to die.
Yeah.
So
I think it was to die.
Oh, absolutely was. But the genius was you're supposed to actually, if you actually call it out, I'll let you finish, Red Shirt. You're supposed to actually notice that the engine turns on, and that's supposed to be a little hint at crud. He's actually leaving it, but that's how I didn't notice that until rewatches.
Such a great part of the film. It's just killer.
Guys,
Yeah.
all right, Red Shirt, finish your thought. Then we're going to introduce Backdoor Gary.
All right. This is what often happens to an honest cop when he gets into around too many corrupt cops. If you've ever seen the movie Serpico, he's very nearly killed. And it's a setup. And this is a setup because Denzel's character has decided he's not going to play ball. And, Alonzo decided he's not going to play ball. But we can't have him talking about what happened earlier today. So we're just going to get rid of him. And that was basically, I think that was basically what it was. Alonzo didn't want to get his hands dirty shooting him. So he left him with the gang, figuring that, they do the job for him. And it was that wallet, that pink wallet, that saves him.
Yep. And
so it's purely accidental that he doesn't. It's just coincidental that he doesn't.
Just thinking, how is he going to get out of this? He seems completely screwed. But then the good thing that you did earlier pays off.
Yep. Pays off. Yes.
Thank you for subscribing, Ronald, Cordoba, and Garita. Appreciate it. But we're going to be transitioning over to Rumble, where we're going to go Rumble exclusive. And while we are about to go Rumble exclusive, hi, Gerry.
Hey, guys. I'm here for the poster.
Gerry, you're not going to train us on how to be gay, are you?
Training gay.
It's exactly what I'm here to do. No, I'm stopping. I'm actually going to bed, man. I've had a long day. But I saw that fucking poster from Brian, and I'm like, God damn it, I got to fucking pop it.
I thought of you. Why did I think of you? I don't know. It must
How
be
did we know that poster would excite you?
All right.
It just made me laugh, you bastard.
Well, Gerry, thanks for being here and dropping by, dude.
I will be joining you guys next week.
Man on Fire next week, dude. Please come.
Yep, that's my fucking movie. So I'll join you guys next week. I got to take a nap in the afternoon if I'm going to join you guys because I get up early. And
I thought it was just because you're old.
I am old.
That too.
Just because. No, I am old. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for the poster today, Brian. It cracked me up, dude.
No problem, buddy. For you, anytime.
Did you see the poster I did for the thumbnail with you for tomorrow?
Yes, I did.
You got your head popping up in the back.
What time are you starting the Outland show tomorrow?
You're Eastern time, right?
No, I'm Mountain time. I'm in
Alberta.
Alberta.
It'll be 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Mountain time.
Yep.
Perfecto.
Everybody have a good night, man.
See you tomorrow, mate.
See you, Gerry.
See you, brother.
All right, guys.
I'll make you gay. I'm going to make you so gay.
Too late. We're all gay already.
We're transitioning. He says, hi from Venezuela. Training Day is one of my favorite crime Los Angeles movies ever. Ronald, if you want to continue watching with us, we're going to go on Rumble only. The link is above in the chat. Please join us and transition over to Rumble with us. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. Over there. All right. So, because now this is the part where we're Rumble exclusive. We'll actually play clips there. So, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. But we're now going Rumble exclusive. Bye, YouTube.